Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Vibrational Apothecary. I will be your dimensional liaison for the evening. And tonight we are going to talk a little bit about ritual, ceremony, crystals, candles, and the like. Uh, Anybody who's looked over the internet, has looked through YouTube, and it's especially who is interested in subjects of spirituality and metaphysics and so on, energy work, you've encountered those channels. Every 5 minutes, they have like another bracelet or candle or special oil to sell you, or special custom made spells to get what you want out of life. So, just fair warning, there's no power in any of that shit. Because truthfully, the power is here. You are the own instrument of your own power. So all of these kinds of rituals and spells and so on, they're geared towards creating some kind of a manifestation or a movement of energy. Well, here's the thing. It takes energy to move energy. If you don't know how to focus your own energy in order to move energy, you're not going anywhere. And so this is why it is really important to understand the principles, the basic fundamental principles of how to work with your own energy and how to understand how all of that functions. Things like understanding divine laws, for example. That's just a basic. Understanding divine law means that if you buy a bunch of spells that are, say, for example, love spells. Here's a good one. Lots of people want those. You decide that you got your eye on somebody and you want to make them your new boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. You can find people who will do that stuff for you. Is it legal? Well, by Western standards, sure. You can sell any services you want, basically, within limits. However, with divine law at play, you're trying to do something to impact somebody's free will. You can't do that. That is against divine law. So that's going to be a little bit of a rebound effect, as it were. It's not allowed to do that. So you can try, but there are various ways that the universe will arrange for you to have to pay for that. So I suggest don't break divine law. If you don't. Life will be so much easier if you just don't. I can't stress this enough. Here's another thing. There's not a lot of power in it if somebody else has done the work of the visualizing and the wording and everything like that for you. All you're bringing to it is your focus. Even at that, maybe not very good focus. So here's the thing. We live in a culture where we want everything to be just like that. We want instant gratification, and we have become used to it. There's this level of entitlement about getting what you want quickly and easily without having to work for it. And that's considered to be the smart approach. However, how valid is it if you never worked for it? I mean, something about entitlement I mentioned a moment ago. I think it's just, if you didn't work for something, why do you think you deserve it? So when it comes to working with energy, the secret to working with energy effectively is your focus, your ability to focus, visualize, hold structures in your mind, particular geometries, archetypal concepts, colors, visualizations, and so on. There is a whole internal language to be learned to work with energetic systems. And it's complex. And I've been doing it for the last 28 years or so now, I would say. Yeah, about 28 years now. and I'm not done learning. There's lots more to learn. Uh, I am not done refining my level of skill with it, with my level of focus. I still lose focus occasionally, although it's a heck of a lot better than probably most people's. So it's like when you go to the gym to work out your muscles. You go to the gym, you do your planks, your core exercises, your whatever you do to get your abs to show. And you have to be consistent. You pay attention to your diet. Above all, you have to be consistent and you have to know what you're doing. You have to have the right focus to do something with the specific muscle, whatever area it is that you're targeting. So the same principle applies for building your energetic muscle. To develop your focus, you have to practice it as in as much of a dedicated way as you would to go to the gym to work out your physical body. You want to work out your energy body, it takes as much effort, if not more, because once you understand that you have certain functions in your energy body that are there for your protection, for your defense, to be able to wield and use all of that stuff on an ongoing basis as you're walking around in the world, that takes a lot of effort and focus to maintain that. And so it's like, you're juggling, you're doing a lot of different things at once. While you're existing in the 3D world, you're maintaining an entire control panel in the 5D world to work with energy. And so I would suggest that if you want to actually learn how to do manifestation for yourself, it's we're starting to develop those skills. And I'm going to put a link in the information below. There are a lot of organizations that can train you on this kind of stuff, but I personally trained with an organization called Training and Power. I'm still doing ongoing work with them. And they do have a website, and they do teach many, many levels of courses on active meditation, metaphysics, and fantastic, fantastic skill set. But I would say to people who are interested in that sort of thing that this particular academy is focused towards making you an elite bodybuilder in terms of your energy body. Okay, just so you understand the level of specific focus and precision that we're dealing with here. There are a lot of basic level courses just sort of for walking around. You want to have your basic everyday dad bod, but still be focused in the 5D world, then sure, there's lots of basic training that you can probably even find some stuff on YouTube, focus exercises, meditations, things like that. Any of those things help. Ultimately, what it comes down to is if you want to manifest, but you don't have any idea what you want, and you don't have the ability to hold your focus steady and your energy steady and not be stuck in a place of lack or a place of feeling not good enough to receive or seeking external validation, then your manifestation is not going anywhere. So that's just a little bit of real talk, because I see a lot of that stuff being sold on the internet, and there are clearly people who must be buying it. Hey, you know what? If you just like the pretty candles or the whatever it is, and you just want to support these people, I just would say don't invest too much belief in how effective these things are going to be. You are the instrument of your own power. Doing it for somebody else, again, divine law. So that's just a little bit of real talk about rituals, ceremonies, candles. Crystals I haven't talked about yet because that's a little bit different. Crystals definitely have a use in energy work, and it's because they are natural amplifiers. And so every crystal has its own particular structure and frequency that it works with to amplify. And if you understand how to work with crystals, then great. you're going to understand which crystals will work best for you and your own energy. When you run your energy through a crystal, you're going to get immediate feedback. Is this crystal for me or is it not for me? What am I feeling from this particular crystal? Is this going to work for what I want to use it for? Is this healing or does it feel more grounding? Does this one feel open or closed? Is it too much or is it a nice, clear frequency for me? These are all individual decisions because, again, you are the instrument of your own power. And you know what that means? You have to calibrate it yourself. Like a lot of instruments, you're going to have to figure out, all right, how do I tune this up? And what does it mean when I read a crystal and I get this information? Well, it means what it means for you. I could pick up the same crystal and get completely different information because each of us is unique. There is no one hard and fast rule for this crystal is only good for this crystal is only good for that, and you must use this other crystal for that thing. Not necessarily. If you want to use a rose quartz as your grounding crystal, then go for it. If that's what you're feeling, if it works for you, if it helps you to tune into that grounding frequency, maybe it's because you need to bring more love through your root chakra. And if that's what it is for you, then great. Because ultimately, when you train in energy and when you train in learning how to work with vibration and frequency, you need to become your own authority on how you function. No one else can tell you how you function. No one else can tell you who you are. That's for each of us to figure out on our own. And so I hope this has been helpful. It probably pissed a couple of people off, but I'm okay with that. And I'm just going to keep it simple tonight, and we're going to leave it at that for working with crystals and ritual and ceremony. I do want to mention one more thing about ritual and ceremony. So, ritual, we like a little bit of theater with our rituals and ceremonies. We're humans, we like to party, you know. Ritual and ceremony is a little bit of pageantry, some theater, some drumming, some chanting. It's great. It kind of adds to the atmosphere, you know. It helps with the vibrational focus. And again, this is the whole point of ritual and ceremony, is to help us to remember the vibrational position that we're aiming for. What's the purpose of the ritual? Is it for celebration? Is it to consecrate a particular piece of ground or a place? Is it to clear negative energy? Is it to commune with spirits? Whatever it is. Is it a rite of passage? There are all different reasons, many different reasons why we want to have ritual ceremonies. Could be for healing. Lots of people traveling to places like Central America or South America these days to do ceremonies. And they can be highly effective, but maybe the cultural context is a little bit strange. So, again, if you're called to those sorts of things, then go for it. But it's important to understand that when you are having somebody conduct a ritual, the practitioner, must be the one who is well grounded and disciplined in their own frequency in how they conduct the ritual. If you want to trust for that ritual and the container for that and the safety energetically of the participants to all be taken care of, the practitioner has to be responsible for holding those energetics steady. The participants, here's where the pageantry and the theater comes in for the participants. The olfactory sense, again, triggers the deep memory very effectively. So whatever's going on in the ritual, chances are there's going to be incense or plant matter being burned or smoked or whatever, something going on that's going to involve smell or sound or vibration. And all of these things are going to trigger the memory, the ancestral memory, the DNA memory, the regressional memory of previous lifetimes, and it's going to be at a pretty unconscious level for the most part. But there will be that resonance that will be triggered from previous lifetimes of, or just the genetic memory of, what are those sounds? What are those scents? What do those things mean to me? What part of my brain is being activated by that particular combination of triggers? And it's going to provoke a certain entrainment of the participants to help to make that ritual go a little bit more smoothly. It's kind of an observer effect. What I've observed when I've done rituals or that sort of thing for people, and yes, I do. I can design rituals for you if you like. But what I will say is that the energy work is the part where the work actually gets done. But for the participants, if there are going to be witnesses, there are going to be participants, there's like a way to pull those people in to harness their participation vibrationally in the process. And that is where the specific uses of things in the ritual itself can be helpful. But for practitioners, or if you want to do things just for yourself individually, it's not about the actions of the ritual. That's really important to understand. That stuff really doesn't necessarily have any, there's no inherent power. At best, it can trigger a low-grade vibrational response on an unconscious level. What you really need is for you, the practitioner, or whoever else happens to be the practitioner, to know specifically what they're doing on a vibrational level and to have the energetic strength and discipline to be able to hold that steady for as long as they need to. So, some basic principles about ritual and ceremony and all of the things that we have been acculturated to think of as magic. And yes, I do believe that magic is real, but I think that it also has much more to do with physics than most people would really like to think about. And so focus on how you hold frequency in yourself, your ability to hold it precisely and consistently. That's key. And your ability to work with energetic structures. Again, that's not lightweight work. It takes a lot of focus to be able to hold that steady. So these are the kinds of things that require a little bit of work, a little bit of practice, a little bit of training, and I encourage you to seek that out. There's lots and lots, more and more of that kind of training is available these days. And so I hope that is helpful for anyone who is considering going out there to look for a solution to their problems.